What do you do when you're at your in-laws' house, you're pregnant, and they only eat once a day? That is the question we pose today on My Crazy Family.
They're crazy and insane. My Crazy Family.
Would be an interesting one to deal with. I kind of have some memories of this, not necessarily in-law wise, but yeah, everybody kind of has their own habits, and then meshing habits can be a little weird sometimes. It's My Crazy Family, as you're already aware. Be sure to press subscribe wherever you download podcasts. Thoughts on this thus far?
Well, it's always weird when you combine two households. If somebody comes and stays at your house, they have their own eating habits, their own dietary needs. People are just different. So if you go to somebody's house, it's hard to adjust. I was just at my brother-in-law's house for the day, about 2 hours away from me, and I had some coffee, and he didn't have any creamer. He never has creamer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a criticism. He doesn't have it, but I can't drink straight black coffee. So to me, that was like,
sure. But it wasn't like a personal condemnation of him. You're in someone else's house. They just don't have creamer.
Exactly. And, if I were planning ahead, I would have brought some little single creamers with me, and I forgot about it and I didn't think about it. And it's no big deal. It's not like life ends.
You were going to creamer shame him.
Well, but here's the thing. If this is a big deal to me, I need to bring creamer with me. It's not his issue. He doesn't need to accommodate for me. It'd be lovely if he did, but I don't shame him in any way for that, because it's not his thing. Why should he have to have a whole thing of creamer just because I show up every couple of months?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The expectation of accommodation, I think, is a big part of this. And in some cases, appropriate, called for. In other cases, sometimes people, especially today, sometimes people have really strange expectations of what they expect to be accommodated for. And then they're genuinely shocked and upset, and then they find reasons to be a victim almost. I'm no way I'm saying that's you by any means, but sometimes people do that when someone has not accommodated to whatever requests, or not even requests, just they should know this. They should know that about me type thinking. It's like, well, if you want it to be known, then, ask, hey, I'm going to be here for a couple days. I'd be happy to bring some of this stuff. Is that okay? And sometimes they'll step up and go, oh, no. Let me get this. Let me know what you want. And we'll make sure we have it for you. I mean, that's what I would do if somebody brought that up to me. I wouldn't be offended. I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I can get that for you. Basically, give them your rider, and then also request for just pink M&Ms on the upper left corner of the coffee table. And
why aren't there pink M&Ms?
Oh, there are, like in the holiday baskets. That's what makes it more complicated to adhere to the rider when you request for a weird color of M&M. Although if you go to an M&M store nearby, you can just go there and get a big thing of it out of the big old bin. But
yeah, well, not all of us live by an M&M store, Tony.
I don't think I have an M&M store. I'm just speaking of my thoughts from like seeing an M&M store at like Disney or something.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this story says, we'll be staying at my in-laws' home for a few nights. I am pregnant, so there's another facet to the story.
Sure.
And I'm often hungry. Yeah, pregnant women are very hungry when we stay with them, even when I'm not pregnant. They mainly just eat dinner at 3 p.m. and snack throughout the day. My mother-in-law has commented about my portion sizes. I'm a very hungry, active person in general. I find it to be super rude and awkward, but I always get nervous about food before a visit there. What would you guys do? Would you bring your own cooler of veggies, things to snack on, or things for a lunch, since they don't eat lunch, obviously? Or just go along with snacky type things that they have? Would this make anybody else feel nervous, or am I overthinking this and making it a big deal when it shouldn't be? I don't think she's overthinking. I'm somebody that when I wake up, I am fucking starving. If I'm not going to eat until 3 o'clock, nobody's going to want to be around me because I am a beast.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily a big deal, but I do think she's overthinking it. Where it's like, look, the solution. So? Well, I think the solution is right there. Yeah, just bring a cooler. Problem solved.
Oh.
That's it.
So you think it's okay to bring a cooler? You don't think that that's going to somehow be that the in-laws might take that as a judgy thing since they've already commented about her portion sizes?
No, you're staying there for a few nights. It's not like, I mean, if you were just showing up for like an afternoon visit and you're there for 3 hours, would be a little weird to bring the cooler in and have stuff. But if you're there for a few nights, you probably got bags that you're bringing in. Bring your fucking cooler in too. It's another thing. Then you got your snacks there. Doesn't have to be a big deal. Doesn't have to be anything about their lifestyle and what they're eating or not eating. You got your snacks. And, if you want more, run to the gas station. Like, I'm going to go for a walk or I'm going to just go for a quick drive. Then go get something else. It doesn't need to be this overthought. I think she's feeling nervous, and I get that. It's kind of a weird place to be, but I think it's overthinking because there's such a simple solution to this, and that's that. It doesn't need to go beyond that. If you're hungry and you're pregnant, these are two non-foreign concepts to anyone who's lived on this planet for a period of time. Wouldn't be surprised if, someone brought their own cooler in. I've been not pregnant before and gone to someone's place and have brought in a cooler.
Really?
Not necessarily for, but it's more so because like you were traveling for a while and you had stuff in your car and then you bring the cooler in to keep putting ice in it or something.
Oh, yeah, because you brought stuff with you. Okay, well, yeah, that makes sense, if it's going to be a long drive.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways where this is not weird. It's not really weird at all. Just, I don't think it needs to be something that needs to be stressed over.
Well, and the other thing is, I'm sure on your way to your in-laws, you've passed a grocery store. Go stop in, grab some, some bread or, if whatever, a salad, grab whatever you need and you can eat. Just because they don't eat at those times doesn't mean that you can't. And if they want to comment about your portion sizes, fuck them.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a big deal. What would be weird is if you're wearing like a backpack that has a straw attached to it and you're just sucking down like whatever is in that backpack. And then you also have a bunch of snacks there and you're just constantly digging in your backpack and eating and drinking directly from it while you're having conversation. That would be awkward. But you got some snacks in your room. You got a sandwich in your room. You got a full on, Golden Corral buffet going on in your room. Completely acceptable, especially if you have like the chocolate fountain going in the room. That may be a bit much, but you know what? No one's going to judge. You're pregnant. See, this is the one time you can get away with showing up at someone's house, setting up a chocolate fountain, and nobody saying a damn word to you about it.
Oh my God, I may have to do that next time. Forget the bringing the little, individual creamer things to my in-laws. I'm bringing a chocolate fucking fountain. Bring
a chocolate fountain and then wear one of those, like pregnant belly things that you can get, the prosthetic pregnant bellies, and just say you're pregnant and you're going to eat the chocolate fountain. Don't fuck with me.
I love it. That's perfect.
Be great. A great way to never get invited back ever again.
Right?
Just make it really uncomfortable once and you're done. That's the strategy. Make it super uncomfortable and all problems are solved. You don't have to worry about any of this ever again. So there you go. I think that's the answer to that problem. That's going to wrap up this story. If you want to get stories every single day in our conversations, be sure to press subscribe wherever you download podcasts as to not miss any of our episodes here on My Crazy Family. Try it free for 3 days on Apple Podcasts right now.
That crazy and insane. My Crazy Family.